Good afternoon. Welcome back to Compton, California. I'm Coach Raymond L. Booker with More Than Just a Game. It's my pleasure to be here today to bring Coach Jonathan Weston, a 16-year veteran in the city of Long Beach, who has been coaching and dedicating his life to the youth of Long Beach, coaching numerous Pop Warner teams. As you guys know about More Than the Game, we're here to dedicate all our time and resources here to the coaches, the unsung heroes, the people who have gave their time, dedicated their energy, took away from their families, did a lot for the youth. Because for More Than Just a Game, our youth are our greatest natural resource. Coach Jonathan, we thank you for coming here, man. I appreciate you coming. Coach Jonathan, man, we got so many questions for you. First of all, congratulations on just a good career in coaching. And as you look back, Coach, what do you think?
Oh, I love it, man. Especially starting with the little ones. That's the best part. You start with the little ones and you watch them grow. That's the best part about it right there. Watching them grow, watching them develop, teaching them everything about the game, and watching them. Some of them doubt themselves, but if they believe in you, they're gonna believe in themselves. And watching them believe in themselves and doing it, that's the best thing right there.
Coach, you talking about believing in yourself, and the first word comes to me is inspiration. And how do you get inspired, Coach? And what way do you inspire your players?
Every kid is different. It's certain kids, I don't know how to put it, but every kid is different. Right. So you gotta inspire a kid differently. Some kids, like with me, the kids that don't have the fathers in their home, you know what I'm saying? I try to be that father figure, inspire them that way, like lead them. And then the ones who already have that, who are already kind of strong, I can inspire them in a different way. So,
right.
It's like depending on the kid and depending on the situation with me. That's how I get with them.
That's a challenge that you guys, us as coaches and leaders and counselors and teachers, we have that challenge to face, to wear different hats for different kids, because Coach Weston, like you said, each kid is different, and the struggle is to find that balance. Okay, this kid needs that kid needs this. So how do you balance that with keeping your own mentality and keeping your own sanity? Because it can be crazy being coaching all these kids like that.
Oh yeah, it is like that. That's why with me, I like to get with the kids, play around with them. I'll act like a kid with them. Play around with them, joke around with them, see who's the sensitive one, see who's the one to be the hard, the tough one, and it's easy to find them. Like most coaches don't play with the kids. See me, my son is out there with them as well. You know what I'm saying? So I play around with the kids, joke around with them, learn all of them. Personalities, what they like, what they don't like, what they can do, and what they can't do. And then I go from there.
That's good. Coach, that's very important. And I want to point that out to all our coaches out there for More Than Just a Game. It's important to know your character of your player. That's important, because if you know the character of your player, that sets the foundation and the basis of building that player in the way you want him to be built. And having that will give you a head start. So that's important. I want to point that out to the More Than the Game audience. Thank you, Coach, for bringing that up. We talk about leadership in the game right now, in football. Things are, on a standstill, of course, Coach, because of the COVID and all these things. But kids are still hungry to play and still want to do things, and coaches like yourself probably still get a lot of calls from different kids. Mm-hmm. Saying that, Coach, what makes you a good leader, you think?
What makes me a good leader? Well, I was led by great leaders, you know what I'm saying? So, I just follow suit right there. And with me, I just, the kid first. With me, the kid is first with everything. Anything else, I'm not in it for like the clout where everybody want to be known. I'm not even in it for that. I'm in the background. See, like with this right here, that's why I appreciate what you're doing right here, putting me out there where people know who I am. Some people know me, some people don't know me. Not knowing through this, I didn't win multiple championships, but nobody knows, because like I said, I'm in the background. Even though I'm the head coach, or even though I'm the offensive coordinator, I'm still in the background. But That's why my leadership is like in silence, really. No, not too many people know. But those who do know, they know that they're being led the right way. And these parents, they know, and the kids, they know. That's what I like about it.
Coach Weston, that's interesting you say leading by example. And we have to understand that our kids, yes, they do get motivated by what we say to them, but more importantly, they get motivated by what we do, by leading an example. That's what is very important. It's very important that our audience and the parents that are watching this understand that it's what you do by an example that motivates our kids. Coach Weston, that's a good point. And you said you've been inspired. Tell me some of your coaches who inspired you and some of the values that helped you get to this point. Because you just couldn't get here by yourself. You had to get something, some help, some way. So,
first coach that really inspired me, really playing the game, was freshman coach at Wilson, Coach Thomas.
Coach Thomas, okay.
Coach Thomas.
Yeah, I remember Coach Thomas.
Coach Thomas, that was the first one. Then, like I said, I wasn't the biggest guy on the field. I was small. I probably was the smallest once I hit high school. But he saw how I worked. He saw I worked over. I worked harder than most people. So, he put me in situations where me myself felt I couldn't do it. But for some reason, he knew I could do it. And I always excelled in it.
Coach Weston brings a good point about coaches like Coach Thomas, the unsung heroes, who instill those values, instill the things in you that you carry on. And I bet you, Coach Weston, you still use some of those drills that he taught you.
Always. I ain't gonna say every last one of them, but a whole lot of them I use.
So these drills, so we have to understand this, guys. So these drills are part of the whole product. And see, the part of the whole product is a type of immortality that these coaches lead to. With one coach, the other coach teaches the other coach. One coach teaches the kids, those kids grow up to coach. So you never die. That's why it's so important for us to recognize our youth coaches. These coaches are to build the basis of the foundation of these kids being great players. And people like Coach Weston, people like Coach Earl McCullough, those guys, Coach Double A. And we have another coach coming up later, Coach Martin Tamez, who also was an instrumental person in the Long Beach community. We're going to have him coming up too to tell his story. But Coach, here's the thing. Why is it that our youth coaches don't get the credit? What do you think that is?
Oh man, well for me, back then, there's only been two coaches here in Long Beach that get credit for everything. The Brown brothers, we all know, Tony and Jerome. They get credit, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But after them two, which them two are legends, everybody else fall off, they don't get the credit no more. Because it's like, me myself, I've coached with both of them, so it's like we're in their shadows. So, with us, it's like, they just like, oh yeah, whatever. Even, you can win, I won 5 straight years Super Bowls, 5 in a row. Couldn't nobody tell you that. Could nobody say anything with me. Only thing they're gonna say is, well, this coach is this, that. They won't look at you. And it's sad. It's sad that you spend your time with their kids day in and day out, taking from your own wife and kids, and you still don't get that respect. Even though it's like, I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm saying, you know what? The kid know. That's all I know. That kid know.
That's what really matters, Coach.
To me.
This is one of the best points I heard from this interview from you, is that at the end of the day, the kid knows and you know.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing. And so you have to question yourself as a coach, why are you really here? Why are you really doing this? Why are you really putting the time in? Why are you out here putting on this show? Is it a show, or is you doing it because you love it? That's what coaches have to ask themselves. How we prove that as coaches? How much time you put out there. These coaches who've been there more than 10 years, 5, 10 years, 20 years, those are the coaches that, they prove themselves that it's more than just a game. It's more than just a game. It's about helping these kids grow as men, grow as leaders. We talked about the things that help a team, Coach. What is the things that you see as a coach that hurts the team?
That'll hurt a team right off the top. It'll be a parent. And the reason I would say it because a parent that don't really know the game and they just hear, oh, my son is fast. They want their kid to get the ball. And with all that, a lot to go on, but I'm just cutting short. I'll just tell you this.
Tell your story, Coach.
I'm gonna tell you this.
Tell your story.
I had a team last year or a year ago. Best team in Pop Warner. I probably had Long Beach Patriots. We was going in for back-to-back Super Bowls. All it took was for a parent to say something and to get angry, and that parent was on the board and got angry, and it shut a whole team down.
Wow.
A whole team.
Right? Wow.
And it's not me. They kept thinking it was me, but it wasn't me. The very next year, that whole team got dismantled, and all them kids went their separate ways. But you know what I love about it the most? Every kid that left that team won a Super Bowl or a championship with another team.
Coach, thank you for that story.
And it's messed up. So parents, when it comes to Pop Warner, is people think it's coaches or is that? No. Parents ruin the game of Pop Warner. You got to keep them over here.
Coach Weston, let's talk about, like you said, we were talking about the parents. My opinion in coaching is gossip. And see, gossip and politics and all that. See, coach, parents are like this, bad cops. You cannot afford to have a few bad apples in the law enforcement. This is the type of profession that you can have bad apples in. That's when you're having a team and developing a team as coaches. All the coaches can relate to this analogy. When you have a few bad apples on the team, it messes up the whole team. Whether it's the parents, whether it's the athletes, and whether it's other coaches. It's very important that the more of the game your audience understand this point. Tell me about the example of the parent that you said, finish that example, what happened at the end?
Well, at the end, it was just, at the end, it was just all sad due to the kids, because the thing is, I was with that group of kids since they were 5, they were now 12 years old. And I want you to tell you, from the age of 5 all the way to 12, we went to the Super Bowl. Every year. Every year we went to the Super Bowl. Out of that, I think we won 3, but what really made me angry the most is for that parent to be that way when, I was cool with that parent and with that parent's kid. Taught that kid a lot of things. Believed in that kid when other coaches didn't believe in that kid. But that's the way it goes, you know what I'm saying? Everything is not perfect when it comes to this profession. Yeah, no, everything is not perfect. And you can't hold grudges. That's one thing I can't do. I can't hold no grudge. All I can do is just move on to the next. And that's exactly what I did. Just moving on to the next. No hard feelings, I still love the Long Beach Patriots, you know what I'm saying? I'm reading it right now. I still love the Long Beach Patriots. That's where I won most of the championships with right there. So, but.
And I'm glad, Coach, you were able to get something positive out there. And speaking of that, talk about the positive parents that balances and help you deal with all the stuff.
It's a lot. Till this day, right now, my phone goes off. I have parents who always ask me, even though they know I'm not even with the Patriots or with that team that they get with, hey, can you help? Will you train my son? My son wants to work with you. You know what I'm saying? They appreciate the things that I've done for their kid or that I'm still doing to this day. So, with those parents right there, man, I appreciate y'all the way y'all appreciate me. That's just the way it is. And those kids right there and those parents, them boys gonna be somebody. I see it already. I see it right now.
Coach Weston brings up another good point of what coaches see. See, we see things that you can't see as parents. We see things that are in the kids and the athletes. So you have to trust us. If you can't trust us, then maybe we're not the right coach for you. You see, so you got to ask yourself some questions. And you also have to ask yourself some questions. Whose dream is it? Is it the kid's hoop dream or is it your hoop dream? Are you living your life vicariously through this kid? Or are you stepping back, letting the kid use his talent, letting the kid learn from himself to be a man, to grow up? And are you trusting the coach? Because you paid your hard-earned money for this kid to play on this team. So are you letting your money pay for it or are you trying to pay for it? Think about what I just said, audience and the parents. Think about that. More than just a game. We have here Coach Weston here, Coach Jonathan Weston from Long Beach. Coach, we talk about the fundamentals of the game. And I'm a firm believer that the fundamentals of the game are it's so important for the youth because the youth learns the fundamentals of the game and goes to high school. So many of our kids, Coach Weston, is not prepared when they get to high school. Tell me about that.
Oh yeah, I've seen it firsthand. That's the first thing I do. I teach the fundamentals. And then, like you said, when they get to high school, with some that don't know, because I coach on the high school level. You get a kid there who was the man in Pop Warner. You know what I'm saying? He was considered the man, but you get him out there, he can't even run the correct route. He can't even get in the proper stance of a receiver or a running back stance or a DB. You know, and it's sad. And then when you try to show them that they want, most of them to get an attitude, or if you don't know the fundamentals of the game by the time you hit the high school, you could have been the greatest Pop Warner guy in the world. But once you hit high school, now you're sitting on the bench. And then that's when them parents come in. Why my son sitting on the bench? He was this person and that person. Well, ma'am, I don't know who trained your son, but they didn't teach, or coach your son, they didn't teach him the fundamentals. Most coaches don't do that now. They just look for the fast kid in Pop Warner.
To make a play.
To make a play. And Pop Warner, yeah, they can make a play, but nowadays Pop Warner is changing now. It's looking like little high schools out there now.
Right.
So if you don't have them fundamentals, man, your head will get knocked off.
And see, that's the thing, Coach, you know, when we talk about the fundamentals of teaching, I want to talk a little bit something about fundamentals, but the fundamentals of life for a minute, Coach. Because at the same time as you're teaching the fundamentals, a lot of these young men who don't have fathers, who don't have the role models at home, you're dealing with other issues that they're bringing to the table. This is what you parents, you don't understand. That at the same time as this coach or these coaches are putting their energy and helping your son become a great athlete, there's things that he's coming to the coach as a man, which is putting extra effort and extra energy that he's not getting paid for that. So take that into consideration before you self-sabotage a coach. Think about everything that you could lose with this coach, Coach Weston. What high school did you go to again? Wilson, right?
Long Beach Wilson.
Long Beach Wilson Bruins, my alma mater, man. My alma mater.
That's right.
Go Bruins. What did you learn at Wilson about life and coaching?
Hey, live for the next play. Always. That was with Coach Clark right there.
Coach J.C. Clark.
Oh yeah. I tell you one thing, some people didn't like, but he was a great coach.
Played one too.
Yeah, he used to. That's why I learned. That's another part where I learned about coaching. You know, I always wondered why I played running back. Like, okay, I'm running over here. I'm not in the play. Why I'm not in the play? Like at that age, I didn't know that. My job, I was occupying somebody else. So I want to know why we ran certain plays. He broke it down and showed me everything about that. And then it moved on from Coach Clark to Coach Gibson. You know, at Wilson, you know, we learned a lot. You know, we didn't win many games, and people want to talk about us all day. You can talk about Wilson all day. I'm still a Bruin to the day I die. But we had great players there. We had great coaches, and they taught us the game. They taught, like you say, more than the game. They taught us more than just this game. They taught us how to live outside of football. With Coach Gibson, he'll look at you and tell you, you're a great player, but hey, you know this game. Your profession might be coaching and not playing. So he would lead that person in that direction. Like, okay, you're good, but I see you over here because you know so much. You know, so yeah, I learned a lot.
What's the future of football, Coach? What's the future of this Pop Warner stuff? You said that earlier. You said these Pop Warner kids look like little mini high schools, and they are right now. They have these dynamite Pop Warner programs.
Yeah.
These parents are putting the money, but at the same time, on the flip side of that coin, Coach, you have a lot of the poor kids are not able to afford anymore. So is football becoming the haves and the have-nots?
Yeah, but I'll say it like this. Certain programs, like you'll have I'll use the Wilmington Pilot, you know, that's a powerhouse, you know, and the way they travel, you need the money. Then you'll have a team, I don't know, a new team that's coming up. I'll just say, what's that over there, the Panthers, Long Beach Panthers or whatever. You know, it's a bottom team. They couldn't even, that team couldn't compete. So down here, your kids are learning, they get the fundamentals, and it's cheaper. But just because they're not a Wilmington, a Pilot, or the Ducks or something like that, they're not gonna get that look. You get what I'm saying? That's like somebody going to, somebody going to Wilson consider somebody going to Pilot. Who gonna get the look? who gonna get all the fame? They gonna get the fame right here, but not knowing down here at Wilson, it's about 15, 16 kids down there still getting looks. But nobody's gonna ever notice that. That's the thing. And with this right here, this football, it's like, you either got it for the rich team, or you don't have it, you're down here. And these two will never cross paths right here, because they're never gonna wanna play them unless they just wanna beat up on them. That is just bad. Yes.
After the dreams of USC and UCLA and Notre Dame fade away, what do you tell a kid that realizes that maybe he should just go to junior college, or maybe he can go to a D3? What do you tell a kid? Because so many of our kids are conditioned because of the media coach to want to go to UCLA, but everybody can't go to UCLA and Notre Dame. So those people, like you said, at the bottom, those are the kids that concentrate on going to San Jose State or Fresno State. How do you handle that with these kids, Coach?
I tell all of them, some of y'all want to go to these Pac-12 schools, some of y'all not. But wherever you land, you do your part. You should just be grateful that you made it to, like you said, San Jose or San Diego State. You should just be grateful you made it there. Give it your all. Let them know where you come from. You know what I'm saying? Because 9 times out of 10, the ones who make it to them Pac-12 colleges, you don't see no more. And that's just honest. You go to this Pac-12 school, you sitting for 3 years, and you get 1 year of playing. Now what? When you can go to this school, like you say, San Jose, you can step in as a freshman and start. So you got to think about, do I want to go to USC where everybody's at and don't see the field to my junior year, or do I go right here to San Jose where I'm going to come out starting?
Coach Weston, looking back, you had a lot of memorable moments in this game. They say football is a game that we all love, but it always doesn't love you back. And some coaches have more success than others, have more rings and championships. Tell me about some of your memorable moments. And which one you think stands out to you?
What stands out with me the most is this one right here. Because I won that with my son, coach my son, I won one with him. That right there, winning one with him. And some coaches some people coach their kids, some people don't. But those who coach their kid, winning that first Super Bowl with your son, that's the best feeling right there. And the best thing, in that same year I played for Team USA, and I got the chance to play with my younger brother. I'm 10 years older than him, but I was able to play with him, and we won the championship that same year with him as well. So that right there was 2017. Yeah, that was my 17. That was my year.
So we talked about the highest achievement, winning the championship, playing with your son. I can relate to that with the success my daughter had with the track team I coached, so I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But what digs at you as the lowest moment as a coach?
The lowest moment with me?
Yeah. Father's a game that you wish you could have back, or what game is that, or any situation that you said, man, I wish I could have done something different?
But the same, when my son's team we won the Super Bowl, we played that year. We went to the national championship, played against the San Antonio Outlaws. We lost that game in 3 seconds. If we would have just played a certain, it was just all bad. We made a great play to come back, had us on top of them. I think by maybe 4 or 5 points. All we had to do was just kick the ball to somebody else, kick the ball to the wrong kid. He got them halfway down the field with about 30 seconds left. We were stopping them, but they got to, I think, maybe the 15, and they kept throwing this same route, this same kid over and over again. And it was like, I'm not the defense coach, so I'm not going to tell the defense what to do. And they just threw that ball to that kid, man, he caught it. And that was it. That right there broke me. It broke a lot of the kids, too. That was right there.
On a psychological level, Coach, those games that dig at you, sometimes they make you better as a coach, make you better as a player, but some people don't get over certain games. There's a few kids I know who I remember memorable game. Long Beach Poly against Bishop Amat. Poly went for 2. It was 28-27. I don't know if you remember that game. But one of the guys lined up on the wrong side, tight end. Poly goes for 2. They lose. I'm an officer in the sheriff department.
Right.
It's my other job.
Yeah.
That guy ended up in jail. The tight end that lined up on the wrong side.
Wow.
And he says that game messed his life up. That he never was the same after that. And so I was telling him, I said, was it the game or that you just couldn't handle what happened with the ramifications? I said, we can't blame the game. So my point is, we can't blame the game.
No.
Because it's more than just a game.
Right.
Right? But it's amazing what that one play did to his life. We're not talking about his career.
Yeah.
We're talking about his life. And I got to see him in that. And that's how this game goes full circle. An officer with the sheriff department meets a player that lined up on the wrong side. I was at that game.
Yeah. I remember.
How do you build a team? Is there a formula? Or what's your formula?
From the ground up, first off, you gotta get the right people around you. You know, people that you know that have the same drive you have. You can't have somebody that just want to be there, just hang on the back. Everybody gotta be in it together. Gotta be on the same page. That's number one. And then after you get that, then you start bringing in the parents or the other kid. But you gotta bring in the right parent. You can't just bring in any parent. You know, just because a parent can say, oh, I have this much money to fund. But that parent might be the one that causes the most problem. So it ain't even about the money. It's just about building around positive people. In youth football, you can't have no negative people nowhere. Because it's not about us. It's about these kids. And if they see the negative in us, they're gonna act out the same way. So I say let's build it with all positive people. Positive coaches, positive board members, positive parents. And
A community.
You gotta be a family. You gotta be one unit.
It's got to be one unit or it doesn't work. It's a waste of time if one unit is not working. If the parents are not working, I can give you one example. I'm in a big basketball game, coaching a varsity team, and the mother is in the stands talking about me, so people can listen. Now, how are we going to win with that kind of energy?
All right.
Coach Weston, I really appreciate you coming here today, being in Compton again. We're here with Coach Jonathan Weston here, a Long Beach veteran, just keeping it real. More than just a game. That's what we're about. Keeping it real, keeping it 100, however you want to put it. Telling the real story of the unsung heroes of the youth coaches around Compton, LA, Long Beach, Southern California, across this nation. You're not going to be able to coach forever, Coach Weston. But what would you like to leave, and what do you think you left in your legacy?
Right now, it's a lot right now. I still got some years to go, man. I still got some years to go, but right now,
what would you like to accomplish then? What would you like? What's your goals, long term?
My main goal, really, is with the kids. That's my main thing. I just want to see the kids accept. The kids that really buy into my coaching and really believe in me, like I believe in them. That's all I want to see is those kids just climb that mountain and make it to the top. That right there, that's all I need. That's my joy right there. That's my joy, watching that kid, like I say, from when you have them from 5 and then you see them make it all the way through middle school, high school, then you see them on the college level, then you get to sit back one day on Sunday and watch them perform. Oh, that's the best. That's my joy right there. That's my joy. I'm gonna leave behind. They gonna know that I was a great coach. They gonna know I was a great coach. A great person, a great coach. You know, I mentored a lot. They're gonna know. The kid. See, I'm not doing it for these parents. Like I said, the kid. As long as that kid knows, I'm good. I'll be straight.
Well, Coach Weston pretty much sums it up right there. So on behalf of our crew, Clay Bowden, Craig LeBlanc, Coach Earl McCullough, and the rest of the More Than a Game staff. I'm Coach Raymond L. Booker. To next segment, the next episode. So long, everybody.